Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me again. It's your boy TeaRon. That's TeaRon period. And we are returning back to a place that I've become all too familiar with because of the audience and the past of the podcast. But we are revisiting a place that I admire so much, with people I admire so much. We are going to go back to Nigeria, folks. But this time, you all are way too familiar with these Lagos people, right? I think that's what people think of. You all hear Nigeria and you think of Lagos and you stop there, but there are also great people in Abuja as well. And the person I have here resides there. And this is a person who I came across because I was just on YouTube bullshitting, and I get all these recommendations for content from across the sea there. And this is one that I stuck with, and I was like, I gotta subscribe. And I don't know about y'all, but I have like more than one email, right? So I have more than one YouTube account. And so what I did when I really like somebody, when I really like the content, I'll go on my different emails and I'll subscribe on each one. So you'll get like 3 subscriptions out of me if I really, really like the content. But this is that. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you, well, first, I know how I'm going to refer to you as, but I'll let you introduce yourself because that would be the best thing. How do you want to be introduced as? Tell the people your name, what you do, where you're from, etc., etc. Let's get into it.
My name is Okpo Augustine Akachi. I am a Nigerian from Enugu State. I live in Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. I guess I'm most well known from YouTube. I'm ICHAP. I have a YouTube channel that mostly talks about dating issues Nigerian men have. Other men could relate to it, but it's mostly for Nigerian or African men. Issues we have in the dating market, the fact that most average men can honestly not get women anymore. Like the standards are here right now, and it's I guess what I try to solve on my channel is the fact that average men, right, have it harder in the dating market right now. A lot of people think it is a Western thing, but it affects Nigeria as well, and most other African countries. So that's basically something I try to fix on my channel. That, and also the fact that a lot of Nigerian men are gullible when it comes to dating. They lose their resources, lose their money, their time, their energy, and they get absolutely nothing in return. So yeah, that's basically me, and that's the problem, I guess you could say, I'm trying to fix.
What's as you break it down, I should have thought of this already. Where does that come from? Like, did you just get fed up? Like somebody like wasted your time and you did someone waste your time and your money and you was like, hey, this ain't just happening to me? Is that
I really don't know what to point out. I really don't know what to point out as the origin, right? But it was honestly not it wasn't a consequence of what happened in my relationship, because when I started the channel, I was in an amazing relationship. So like everything was smooth for me. So I also had no reason to start the channel in the first place.
They were probably like, wait a minute, hold on. You talking all this over here. How do you really feel?
My relationship at the time was perfect. So if anything, right, I think the fact that I had a great relationship and a lot of people didn't was probably what bothered me. Because dating to me is supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be amazing, honestly, But a lot of guys are clueless to very basic cues that if you're observant enough, you would notice. So I guess that was probably the motivation to, not just start my channel, but to switch to specifically dating content. Because when I started my channel, it wasn't just dating, it was self-improvement, it was a whole lot of things. But eventually I'm like, first of all, I noticed people started liking more of my dating content. That was first of all. And then I also noticed that from the comments, a lot of guys were oblivious to very basic things about women and men, like differences in men and women. So I guess that was the primary motivation.
I'm glad you took a route, because how, well, like you said, you noticed that people were responding to certain things more. And it's like, once you find that avenue, it's like, let me see where this goes. Let me stick with this. And
Exactly.
you find that, one of the things I like about having this sort of platform is that you start to talk about things, or you communicate with people, and you say something that you think is like something that you only feel, or something that you only are thinking about, and then you find that there are 1,000 other people that are like, nigga, me too.
Exactly. That's honestly how I felt.
Yeah,
that's exactly how I felt.
It's almost exciting. I don't know. Well, this is a very American concept, but I guess a very European concept too. But when you are the only like Black person at an event, what you do is when you go in, you subconsciously will like find the other Black person in the
other
room,
Black man,
right? And so you be like, hey, okay, then you cool, right? You don't even have to physically point at each other or give the nod or anything. You just kind of know, right? And that's what it's like once you find like your audience, or once you find your crew.
Exactly.
That's how it feels. You're like, hey, okay. So you chose the YouTube channel over your past relationship, so we got that. How old are you right now? How old are you?
I'm 24.
Oh, see, yeah, you fine. That was probably just supposed to be a thing anyway. So what's your longest relationship been in this case? Was the past one your longest one, or?
I'm still in the past one. So
I
guess, yeah, exactly. You did not break up.
You won't be.
I am still in the past one. I actually think this might be my. No, this is not my longest. My longest relationship was I think 4 years. I was really young. I think I was 19. No, I was 18. Yeah, I dated from when I was 18 till I was 20. So yeah, I guess that was my longest relationship ever.
That's a long time. That's a long time for an 18-year-old.
Exactly. I guess like personally, I've always had. I don't know if I'll say I've always had an old mind, but I always saw relationships as this groundbreaking thing. Like I don't see it as, I guess if you see my perspective has shifted somehow, but at the time, let's say when I was 16, when I was 17, relationships were a big deal to me. Like if you're dating somebody, right? I couldn't fathom the concept of dating somebody who you didn't see yourself getting married to. That was what I guess now you could say it's very different for me. Now I could date any girl who's attractive and who I feel like I have chemistry with. But then a few years ago, it wasn't like that. Like if I was dating you, I was going all in. So I guess that's why I was able to stick through a relationship as an 18-year-old, even though it wasn't, the smoothest experience for me.
Where do you think that came from? The idea of, because to be so young and say I'm gonna, be committing to stuff long term. I can't commit to anything long term, even at my old age now, right? So
yeah,
I find myself having trouble to commit to anything. What do you think that comes from? Like, where did you grow up in a 2-parent home?
Yeah, I did. But I honestly don't think that's where it came from, because I have tons of friends who grew up in 2-parent households as well, who didn't think like that. So I genuinely have never had the time to think about where that mindset came from, But I honestly had that growing up. I had that here. If you find a girl who you like, I'm not saying you must get married to her, but you have to see your potential wife in her before you ask her out. I don't see it like that anymore, but I definitely did at the time. I definitely did.
Yeah, I was a hoe for a long time, so I don't know. Like, truly, like, I don't know, like, you know what I find a lot of times though is that and this could be very true for your for people as well. Okay. A lot of people who are adults now, or starting
Yeah,
to be adults now, don't really consider marriage as much as people used to,
this is
right?
very true.
I don't know how prevalent it is for you there, but I find that I feel like that's a huge thing that's happening right now. I know I myself, I didn't really think about it until like I started hitting the big threes, right? And I was like, yeah, I don't. When I think of myself in the future, even when I
Yeah.
think like I'm like, oh, I would definitely want to have like a son one day. I want to.
Okay. Yeah.
When I think of that,
Yeah.
even then I see myself by myself.
That's crazy. I 100% agree with the fact that it is more prevalent now, and it is not just a Western thing. In Nigeria, it is basically the exact same thing. It is the exact same thing. Guys are, you could say girls as well, but guys specifically are way less interested in getting married now than they were, let's say, 20 years ago. Even in Nigeria here, it is the same thing.
You know what I think? I think that people are starting to realize that marriage is indeed it has to be a mutually agreed upon contract, right? It's like I dedicate this time on earth to you because of XXX or whatever.
Exactly.
But I think that people seeing it like that is what's changing the perspective. We like, okay, I noticed that generationally speaking, a lot of people would say, oh yeah, my great grandparents were married for 60 years, right?
Yeah, but were
and
they happy
like,
though?
Right. But it's like, wait a minute, 60 years, you do the math on this. You say 60 years. All right, hold on, wait. So grandma is, she's only 71, right? Like,
damn, man.
and grandpa's 83. So you do the math on that.
That's
and
crazy.
It's like, wait a minute. No wonder you were married for 60 years because you were married at freaking 12.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But also a lot of people are getting married in the past out of convenience or out of a means, right? Okay, a lot of women who didn't have rights back then, jobs, it was out of security, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you kind of stayed with it for a long time. And I think that nowadays people are like, hey, hold on, nigga, I got options. So
I 100% get that. I 100% get that. But at the same time, you do know that the family unit is the most important unit in every single society, right? So personally, like if I'm trying to be selfish, I genuinely think a man of means, that's my perspective. A man of means would have a more, should I say, adventurous life if he didn't get married, or at least if he didn't get married early. That's personally what I think. But then when I look at the society, if every man thought the way I thought, and just decided to, focus on the grind, have an amazing life, travel, live your best life and all that, and maybe have a kid, right? But not really be present or not really be in a monogamous relationship with a woman while having that kid, the society is going to be 10 to 15 times more messed up than it is right now. So, I don't know, it's kind of a pick your poison type of situation for me.
I always think about like, well, in this case, I always think about like genealogy, right? I always think about like the family tree and tracing your ancestry and stuff, and how as a Black American, that is still the hardest thing to do. You get to a stopping point and you be like, I don't know where I'm from, bro. But to think about how family trees will look in the future, right?
Exactly.
It's quite, it's very much tangled. Whereas if the trees were just branches before, we're
like
just
webs.
we're just like webs and leaves and the bugs on the trees. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
But
it's crazy.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. So you at some point, based on this conversation, you do at some point see yourself getting married, having a family. I think I'm gonna be that 40-year-old friend that has a toddler. I just see that for myself because I ain't done yet.
But have you ever been with a girl though that made you like reconsider this path? No, none.
No.
No girl.
No.
Wow.
No.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, you have so much fun, like, doing your thing that you just be like, I don't know, if you stop to think about it, then you get messed up. So don't. No, no. If you my favorite thing, I forgot where I first heard it, but I used to hear it all the time. But
Yeah.
my favorite thing to tell people now is I say, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. I'm a bad influence. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Don't do what I do, right?
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
So let me ask you,
Okay.
what is it like for, because you have these perspectives all the time, and I just crack up about it, but it's a real thing.
Okay.
There's these perspectives or these ideas of what it is like to be an African man, specifically a Nigerian man, dating. Are Nigerians using dating apps? Like, what is what is the landscape of,
okay.
how,
Nigerians do use dating apps, but very sparsely. Any Nigerian woman, and don't tell them I said this, but like any Nigerian woman who is on a dating app is there for hookups only. She's not there to find love. She's not there to find a husband. Not even dudes, like even Nigerian dudes who are on dating apps are there for hookups as well. So I guess you could say we don't have, the way people in the West would go on dating apps and actually want to find, maybe a partner who they like or something.
oh no,
That's
they
not how
hooking
it
up
works
too.
here. Or they're hooking up too, right? What I'm trying to say is there's absolutely nobody who is not hooking up in Nigeria when it comes to dating apps. Nobody goes on dating apps because not one
what
person.
I take from that is, when I visit Nigeria to go on the dating apps, that's how I no.
I can guarantee you would find what you're looking for. I promise you would find it.
Let me ask you, have you specifically been on any dating apps, and if so, what was that experience like for you?
I haven't. I have been in a relationship for a year and I don't know, 2 months, 3 months. I don't know. I really haven't. And dating apps have not been popular for too long in Nigeria. Yeah, they're fairly new here. So no, I haven't. I have a couple friends who have, just for hookups though. No, like just for hookups. That's all. You cannot find love on a Nigerian dating app ever. You just can't. Absolutely can't.
Well, don't go looking for it, right? what what would you say? Okay. Because I guess for me it'd be totally different, right? There'd be like you said, there'd be an idea in mind of like, this is what you're looking for, you're gonna find it, buddy. But if you are looking to find someone seriously,
okay,
how do you approach it? And this could be just what you think, or how you think it should ought to be. But what I find is that anybody that I've had anything dragged out with, I always say dragged out, because I'm not, it's not long term. Anything I would like, anybody I wasted time with, has always been from like meeting in person or being in the same space, right? Whereas truly anybody I've met on any app or any, on a site or whatever is that.
Exactly.
I mean, it's true.
There's a lot of truth to that. I personally believe that a man and a woman cannot truly bond online. It's not a thing, which is personally why I always say on my channel, if you meet a girl you like, okay, you don't have to set up as many dates, but you guys should meet physically as much as you can. I genuinely believe that. Like, there's this trend on Twitter, Nigerian Twitter right now, of Nigerian girls having work husbands, right? And ending up sleeping with those work husbands. It's a real thing. In Nigeria, for example, in Lagos, for example, right? If you are working a 9 to 5, right? Let's say because Lagos has insane traffic, if you haven't heard. It has insane traffic, right? Let's say you leave your house by 7 a.m., right? You're going to be at work, or at least you're going to be away from home from 7 a.m. till about 7 p.m. So you're basically going to be spending, I don't know, 3 to 4 hours or 2 hours, if anything, talking to your spouse. The remaining 7 to 8 to 9 hours is spent with other people. Work husbands. You're becoming, as the wife or even the husband, you're becoming closer to that person you're working with, right? And more distant from your spouse. It's a thing that, like, if you want to bond with somebody, be as close to them as possible, right? Then after you guys have bonded, then whatever, how do I put this? Whatever space you have in between, the bond you had before can, should I say, make up for that distance. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but that's how I see it. That's how I see it, honestly.
Do you think, because that seems to be birthed out of familiarity, or like you said, the fact that you are spending more time at work, do you think that's more of a knock towards like the workforce globally?
Like, honestly, it is. It 100% is. It definitely is.
Because I think often I'm like, yo, I wake up and I work like 9 to 9, 5 days a week. Don't you say anything. 5 days a week. And it's boring, right? But and I spend a lot of time by myself. So what I find is that I was making love to myself. No, oh gosh, so I know me is what I'm saying. I just know myself. Because that's who I'm with most of the time. So, right? the math checks out.
It honestly does. It really does. You were asking a question previously, how I would advise guys to.
Well, not even that, because maybe we want to know how you would do it, hypothetically speaking, because I don't want to get you in trouble, because we still in the past thing. If you were to you saw a Yash you like, right? Yash, not a Yash you like, right? And,
exactly.
And you said, you know what? That's what I want, right? Not that. Okay, let me be serious. You saw a woman that you met, that you had a connection with, or that you wanted to have a connection with, I should say.
Yeah.
How do you approach it? How do you do your thing?
Okay. Okay. Let me use a very specific example. I actually just put out a video about that recently, talking about how to toast girls, quote unquote. I can't put a video on that.
Toast?
Personally, yeah, on YouTube, like a YouTube video.
How to toast? How to toast? You gotta break that down.
Toast me.
I don't know.
Toasting a girl is basically you, right, meeting a girl and not necessarily convincing, but seeing if there's anything between both of you. Seeing if she has some form of interest, and then hopefully
like
either courting, hopefully either bedding her or dating her, one of the two. So like the entire process is called toasting in Nigeria.
I gotcha. I'm gonna start saying that.
So I had a video about that. Let me use myself specifically, right? The next step of my life is something we call youth service. We do it in Nigeria, where you kind of serve the country for 1 year. So like there's a whole bunch of university graduates in a camp, and I'm going to do that in like 2 to 3 months, right? So let's say I see a girl who I think I like. Specifically, a girl's looks is important to me, but like it doesn't really do much until we kind of talk, until I hear her talk. So like once I hear her talk and she's sexy, then I would know like if I'm interested, right? And if I'm interested, I just walk up to her. We are both in the same camp, right? We're both in the same camp, so we already have that in common. I walk up to her, and the first thing I'll ask her is what school she finished from, and whatever school she said she finished from, right? I say 1 or 2 things about the school. I ask her where she lives. I tell her I think she looks good. She says thanks, and I ask for her number, and that's that. Like it's not going to take 5 minutes, just 2 to 3 minutes of small talk. Ask for her number at the end, and then her reception when we talk, like when I get home, is going to tell me if I should fix a date with her. If she's very receptive, then we are in the same camp, so we don't even need to go. Like we don't need to put in too much effort to meet up. We are basically in the same environment. So I tell her I want to meet her, at a specific place, and we meet up. And the entire thing is just going off her energy. If she's feeling you, then you can keep on advancing. If you notice she's not feeling you, then you withdraw a little bit. That's just how it is. And also having it at the back of your mind that you cannot toast every single girl. Like, some girls are just not going to be interested in you. So I really don't think it is difficult. All you have to do is look good, smell good, and be confident and smile. And that's it.
Emphasis on the smell good, y'all. Like, speaking of smelling good,
yeah.
One thing that I encourage a lot of people to do, a lot of men to do,
yeah.
And if you haven't done this yet, enjoy yourself. Do it.
What's that?
Go and get a pedicure, yo. Get that crust off your feet, bro. I promise it'll change your life. You you know how black men get painted, right? To be aggressive.
Yeah.
And,
exactly.
How we get into it with each other. I promise if you get that crust off your feet, you won't even give a you. In addition to smelling good, I'm telling you, I don't know what that. I don't know what
good. I put out a post on Twitter, I think 6 days ago or something. I was in a vehicle with two people. Like, I was in between two people who smelled extremely bad, and it was so bad. I had to put up a tweet. I was like, I honestly think it is offensive. It is offensive to know that you smell very bad and leave your house. Like,
well, see, that's the
doing
thing.
that alone is offensive.
That's the thing. Some people get nose blind. You ever heard of this nose blind? Some people get nose blind to themselves, right? And it's like, you don't smell that? Come on now. Come on now.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough.
I want to talk about briefly what it was like for you growing up in Abuja, right? Growing up, you were raised Christian, right? So you have these set values. What was it like for you? Are you an only child? Do you have siblings? You have this is just a side.
What's that?
You have a wonderful network right now. The connection. So, are you from an affluent family? Like, what is the situation here?
Actually, the myth about Nigeria having awful network is not true. What we have is awful electricity. We have very unreliable electricity, but our network is great, actually. We have awful electricity, we have bad roads, we have an awful government, but our network is amazing. It's amazing, trust me. And then about my siblings,
you riding, and I'm telling you, I love it.
I have siblings. I have two younger sisters who, funny enough, are, they're probably going to graduate before, but they're not going to. One of them is going to be done with school. One of them, was done with school before me. Because I went to a government school, she went to a private school, and government schools have strikes. I don't know if you know what strikes are, but like, where like the staff and everything go on they go on a leave until they get paid enough or get paid what they think they are worth. That doesn't happen in private school. So my sister had the luxury of finishing school before me because private schools don't have strikes. So yeah, I have siblings. I have two younger sisters. Yeah. And about my upbringing, I wasn't born into a poor family, but I wasn't born into an affluent family either. I got everything I needed, not everything I wanted, but everything I needed. Okay, let me put it like this. When the PlayStation 3 came out, that was when I got the PlayStation 2. And when the PlayStation 4 came out, that was when I got the PlayStation 3. and when the PlayStation 5 came out, that was when I got the PlayStation 4. Even though I got that with my money, but that's how it has like been in my family.
Yeah, that's all right.
But you get stuff done.
Hey, that's all right though. Hey. Because PlayStation 5, they ain't worked out everything yet. Everybody
Exactly.
see now you're gonna get me off track here. What is the deal? Like it's to the point that I don't even want one anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just don't even care anymore. Like they made it so inaccessible.
Exactly.
It's like
I heard it was very hard to buy. Yeah, I heard it was hard.
Yeah,
hard to.
I wouldn't know because I mean that's for rich people apparently. Because and then a lot of people who were getting them were being given them. You know, I know.
Really?
Yeah, I know a lot of working with people in Hollywood, or you know people, they be getting shit, right? They just call your manager, your agent, a publicist. They will get that. They will get it for you. I don't know how, but they get shit. And everybody I know that personally has a PlayStation 5, they were like, here. So must be nice.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, how do your younger siblings take your content?
My content?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for them is me growing. They remind me whenever I, achieve a new milestone. Oh, you got 7K subscribers. Oh, you got 8K subscribers. So like they are way less interested in the content. They're more interested in the fact that I'm growing. They're like, oh, dude, you got 13K followers on TikTok already. I'm like, yeah, So, like they are honestly they're more interested in me growing, as a person than, oh, what's he talking about? Oh, did I like what he said? Oh, because there's one thing I've learned is you can absolutely never please everybody. It's impossible. You can't, right?
Oh, your siblings are the most unimpressed. Let me tell you. Siblings be like, nigga, and so?
Exactly. So, like, I honestly believe you can honestly never please everybody, right? But if you can go to bed knowing everything you said, right, from when you woke up to when you went to bed was stuff you honestly believe in, then, I feel like that's what everybody should strive towards doing. You don't want to go to bed feeling like you are a sellout, or you have to say stuff because you're scared you get fired, or, it's something that your spouse would want you to say, not really something you believe in. I think that's a huge trap, and it's something that's becoming more and more prevalent in our society now, where people are saying stuff because they don't get canceled, because they're scared of what other people will say and stuff. So, that's just how it is for me. My siblings are very supportive.
Present company included in that. Present company included. There's certain stuff I won't even buy. Anybody that knows me truly knows me.
Yeah.
I can sit around and just roast and talk shit about like that. I just do. You could just like, okay, just based on like, this is literally people a lot of times don't know that they'll think that I'll bring someone on because I know them or I've chatted, but this is literally our first time communicating, right?
Exactly.
And you could just I mean, I'm just saying little shit here and there, but literally if we weren't recording right now, you'd be like, bro, you are wild. But there's certain things, I mean, I know that I edit myself. Like I went back and was like, I think I'm gonna go ahead and delete some tweets. Because that's the first thing that happens when you blow up. People like,
exactly.
Did you say this?
Yes, that is so true.
Did you say this in 2012, bro?
Exactly.
So I was like, yeah, nah, yeah, nah. So yeah, it's very, very much prevalent. What do you say to someone younger than you who is just starting out, just kind of getting their feet wet, just now maybe getting into the idea of dating? What do you say to them? Like, should they take my advice and enjoy themselves?
I think
what's your approach in that sense?
You mean for guys, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about.
Yeah.
I think first of all, right, regardless of how 2022 is Our generation is really weird. And I say it every time. It is very weird. Things are skewed. Stuff that was black and white is blue and green now. So like everything seems upside down, right? So I like to stick to the fundamentals. I like to stick to, things that are already proven, right? As a man, right, in as much as this is 2022 and there's so many women who say they don't care if a man has money, this and that. Yes, I agree that, more women, especially in the West, have the ability to make a lot of money, right? I agree, right? But at the end of the day, being a man of value isn't always money, right? It doesn't have to be money. So what I would advise a younger, let's say a 20-year-old man listening to me right now is get your shit together. When I say your shit, I mean in every aspect. I mean your physical looks. I mean, in fact, most importantly here, like the way you think, right? Get this shit together, right? When this is together, then your money can begin to come together, right? Once your mentality is, airtight, right? Then you begin to see opportunities. Yeah, you understand what it means to provide value and get paid for it. Because, and this is going to be a shade, to my fellow Nigerians, a lot of people here want to get money without providing any type of value, right? And that's just the only way you can do that is if you steal. Like that's the only way you can do that, right? So I guess my advice would be get your shit together, right? When it seems like you have your shit together, women are extremely smart when it comes to like knowing if a guy has, should I say, when it comes to knowing if a guy has drive or if a guy has ambition, right? If you have your shit together, she will notice. A lot of people talk about high value men this, high value men that. Yeah, I get it. I get that high value men would get, the higher number of women, right? More attention than other men. But not every woman wants to be with a high value man who sleeps with 70 women a week. Some women are okay being with a modest man, right? That has direction. So what I would advise a 20, 21-year-old guy to do is if you get your shit together, right? Your physical looks, the way you think, everything, right? You're as masculine as you can be. And when I say masculine, I don't mean like bully women or something, but like you're as masculine as you can be. She is going to find you and find comfort in being around you, right? A lot of guys want to get without giving. Like you want to attract women, you want to attract money without having anything of value, and that's not how it works. That's not like you have to be. I don't know how to put this. You have to be a magnet in the first place, right? When you have all those requirements, then every other thing falls in place. That's how I see it.
You know what? And it's true. I agree with you 99%. No, just kidding. I agree with you 100%, but I truly believe that you believe that. And I wanna point out something here, because a lot of times guys don't get credit for being just good, right? So the reason I asked you that is because earlier you said about when it comes to how you would approach a girl to kind of get her attention or take her on a date, whatever.
Okay.
You made a note of if she's not feeling you, you just fall back, right?
Yes.
A lot of guys don't even think like that. A lot of guys have been taught like,
that's very true.
Keep going at it.
Pressure.
But it's like literally like, there are literally women who will get killed because they rejected a guy, right? It's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous.
That's absolutely insane.
It's true.
That's insane.
It's true. There was a thing.
Man.
There's a thing that happened in New York where a girl was like leaving the store. She was like, no, and the guy like followed her and like killed her.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
That's insane.
It's ridiculous. And
like, man. You have to. It comes back to what I was saying. Like that dude who did that subconsciously knows, right? First of all, you could tell that he has been rejected so many times. That's number one. And two,
because he didn't have his shit together, man.
Exactly. Like he knows subconsciously that he doesn't really have anything that would make her stay. That's number one. And then he like there's the reinforcement that he has been rejected so many times already. So like I guess like the frustration just adds up, and that's what led to him doing that, man. That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
Oh gosh, I'm enjoying chatting with you. Honestly, like this
Same
is
here,
always
man.
good.
Same
This
here.
is always good. Connecting with someone who is able to not only express themselves clearly, but is consistent. I think I said that before we started recording.
Yeah.
Is that I appreciate your consistency, and it's not just in this case with you building your YouTube audience and so on.
Yeah.
You seem to be pretty consistent in terms of like your
The
belief
message.
system or how you perceive things, and that can be appreciated because then you know exactly who you're dealing with, exactly what
I
it
appreciate that,
is,
man.
because you know how people can be like, because
Mhm.
I've talked to people who have they have that face they put out, and then you'll chat with them. It's like, who the
Yeah.
fuck is
Who the hell is
this?
this?
I don't even think they can keep up. So seriously. So I want to ask you, because I won't keep you too long. I feel like I could just talk to you for a while though, but I won't keep you too long. I want to ask you, what are your future plans? Like, what do you? Of course, you kind of, like I said, you found your niche. Keep riding it. Keep doing that. What are your future plans with what you're doing creatively, professionally, and relationshiply, etc. Where are you at with it?
In 1 year, I should be done with the youth service stuff I told you about that every student does, where you serve your country for a year. So once you're done with that, then you could go apply for jobs and everything. So until then, right, I'm just going to keep on doing what I do, which is stack up money from sponsorships and YouTube AdSense and put it into different assets, whether stocks, whether crypto. That's all I'm doing right now, right? And then I don't care how much money I have by the time I'm ready to start, working, right? I am going to get a job because in Nigeria, stuff is crazy over here. So like you can't, 100%, unless I have like 1 million subscribers, like I'm not going to not have a 9 to 5, So once I'm done with this service thing, I'm going to get a normal job, work that normal job. But I'm going to have, I'm going to have YouTube. I'm going to have my investment. I'm going to have my money going to various investments at the same time. So, I just want to build this safety net, to the point where, if this fails, let's say if the 9 to 5, if I get fired, for example, hopefully that doesn't happen, but if I get fired, for example, I have other sources of income. If one of my investments crash, I have my 9 to 5. So that's kind of the, bubble I'm going to, try to create in a year or two. Yeah.
I fuck with that. I'm totally there with you. I'm literally like, I sit around, I'm like, okay, how am I gonna make this money grow? Because
honestly, like, especially in Nigeria, like inflation rates here are going crazy. Like you cannot visit the market, right?
mm-hmm.
You can't visit the market twice. Like, let's say if you visit the market like on the 1st of April, for example, right, and you buy a bag of rice, for example, right, you cannot, I guarantee you cannot buy it for the exact same price on April 30th. That's how bad our inflation is here. Like our currency is so worthless right now. It's so worthless. It's awful. So
is it wavering or
it's dipping? It's dipping badly. But so badly, it's crazy. Like the only advantage of our currency being so bad, right, is that the dollar is worth more. So YouTube money seems bigger. That's basically the only thing. But then at the same time, it's kind of the exact same thing because the money seems bigger, but it can't buy as much as it should, if that makes any sense.
Right.
Nigeria is messed up right now. So if your money isn't somewhere multiplying, you're losing money. Like you're losing money keeping it in the bank. I promise you.
You're just letting it sit there.
Exactly.
Don't let the money sit and just collect dust.
Exactly.
Put that shit to work. Seriously. Man. See, that's a different conversation because I ain't gonna hold on. We'll chat in a moment. But
all right, man.
That being said, So we know what your future plans are. We know that you got it figured out.
Yeah.
We know that you are still in the past thing, which is the present thing. Okay.
Exactly.
I again want to thank you for coming on and doing this, taking time to do this. I wouldn't have woken up this early for anybody, just anybody.
I'm sure this man.
So in fact, once we're done, I may lay back down. But to the listeners, I want to say this: you know how you can reach us, you know how you can find us, you know what you got to do. So if you wanted to email us, you email us ubiquitousblacks@gmail.com. If you don't know how to spell it, you just simply go on to Google and you type in Ubiquitous Blacks, you think it is, and Google will be like, did you mean? And then click that. That's us, right?
Exactly.
So you'll find us. Leave a review. So if you're on Apple, Spotify, you name it, you can actually now leave reviews on Spotify. But when you go to leave a review, make sure it's 5 stars. Okay. Anything under 5 stars, hit that button. There's a red button at the top. Close it. Go somewhere else with that shit. Okay. Don't leave 5. If you don't feel like it's 5, don't leave a review. Okay. That's all I ask. But let the people know where they can keep up with you, where they can find you, communicate with you, etc., etc.
All right, man. You guys can find me on YouTube at ICHAP, ICHAP, ICHAP. You could also find me on Instagram at EYE.CHAP. It's also ICHAP, but this time with, I. And then on Twitter, you could find me at ChapTilden, ChapTilden. So yeah, those are my 3 primary social media platforms.
What is ICHAP?
ICHAP, it means I am calm, hardworking, and patient.
Shut the fuck up.
I feel like I said that in one of my videos. You haven't seen
Really?
it? Yeah.
I think that needs to be like a thing, because why don't I know that? I'm some of those things. If Chap is calm, hardworking, and patient, right?
Yeah.
So
I
am hardworking and you lead to you. All right, here we go.
All right.
So whether you're Black in Abia State
or whether you are Black in Abuja,
remember, we are Black
everywhere.
Romania, are there Black people in Romania?
I really don't know, which is why I don't know.
Romania. I mean, there's gotta be, right? But that's who I want to talk to, because what are you doing there?